Hello everybody, Trey here, also known as SpinningPlumbobs, and today we're going to be going over a mod that I've just released. This is going to be for animated wings that can be used in conjunction with my Fairies versus Witches mod. So today we're just going to be going over all of the features and what you can do. It's not a crazy, expansive, in-depth mod like some of my others, so it's going to be a real quick one today. So first things first, if you want to use these animated wings, what you're going to want to do is hit Shift-Control-C and open the cheat console, type in testing cheats true, enable cheats. You're going to shift left click on the sim and you're going to go to the wings menu and hit enable animated wings. So if your sim is an ordinary human, that's what you're going to want to do, but if you have my Fairies versus Witches mod, Fairies will automatically have the ability to select wings. But now that we have given him the ability to use these animated wings, you can click on your sim. You'll have this new menu called Wings. Open that up, and you'll be able to select wings. And that'll open up a menu where you can select from a ton of different options. I've included a few different packages with different wing options, so you'll be able to download those separately if you want. But we're just going to select a random type of wing. Let's go with these ones. So those will be applied, and you can see that he has wings that actually move now. These are actually not Create a Sim items. These are objects, which means that there will be no issues with texture overlap. So you're not going to have the wings printed on any other part of the sim or on their accessories or anything like that. And you're not going to have that box highlight that the wings from the Fairies versus Witches mod had. So then if you decide somewhere along the line that you don't want your sim to have wings, you just click on them, you go to the wings menu again, and you'll hit purge all wings. And you can see it says that this will delete any wings that are saved to him as well as any wings that he's wearing. So you just click that and they're gone. One thing I have to say is because of the way that this feature works, this is something that's unavoidable, but half the time deleting the wings like that will cause the sim to reset, and that'll be as if you shift-clicked them and hit reset object. They'll cancel all of their interactions and whatnot. Unfortunately, that is something that is unavoidable. That's just the way that this feature works, but it shouldn't cause any major issues. So if you do use that feature and you see that they reset, just know that that's a normal thing and that's not something to worry about. Something else that's useful for is if you decided that you don't like the wings that you chose, you can apply some different ones, and you can do this as many times as you want. You can change the wings as many times as you want. So we're just going to choose a different style here. Let's just throw these ones on him. If you decide at some point that you don't even want your character to have the option to put on the wings, you can just shift click like before, go to the wings menu, and then there's an option to disable animated wings. So then you won't even have the pie menu on there, and you can switch back and forth as many times as you want. Let's look at the options that you have once these wings are on your sim. If you click the wings themselves, you'll have different options. You can set the wing color, which will be an additive color that will be applied over the texture of the wings themselves. It won't completely replace the color, but it'll add one on top. So whatever color the wings are to begin with, that will kind of add to the color you set them as. For example, if I go to set them as lavender, they'll still have that blue-green hue that was already there, but they just have a lavender cast on them. Or you can set them to just straight up blue, and that's a much more intense blue. Or we can set them to orange, which you can still see that little bit of greenish hue underneath. We can set them to magenta, all kinds of different options. Or if you want to take that off, you can just set it to none and it'll go back to the original. You can also set different effects, let's say black fog, or you can change it to golden glow. So then you'll have some golden sparkles surrounding your sim, or you can set it to, let's go with rainbow sparkles, and then you have sparkles. There are a ton of different options here that you can select, and then you can select wing size, so you can make them bigger if you want to, or you can make them little itty bitty as well. We're gonna take them back to being average. And the final option is wing speed, so you can choose like what kind of movement pattern they have. Right now they are at the normal default pace, but you can make them a little faster and have them flutter. so then they go a little bit quicker and a little more sporadic. You can set it to slow, so it's a little bit less active than the default. You can set it to slow and steady, which is more like the Sims 3 wings, where they're just a real even speed going open and closed. And then I also included the ability to set them just as open, or there's also the option to make them just closed, which sets them outward like that. And that's probably going to be useful if you're taking screenshots and you want them to be in one of those positions. So those are all the different options that you have. You can choose the style and color and whatnot. You can add more color on top. You can add effects, the size, the speed. They're very customizable. And because everybody loves their family gameplay, I wanted to make it available for all ages. So you can go ahead and do the same thing, just enable animated wings, click on your sim, and select wings, and we're just going to scroll down and select a random pair of wings for him. Let's choose these ones. And there you go. So you can see that toddlers and infants and children can also have animated wings. And of course, they also have the same option of setting the speed, size, effects, color, and everything. As I said before, because this sim is a fairy from my Fairies vs. Witches mod, she has the option to use these animated wings automatically. But I've also integrated the animated wings with the gameplay for fairies from that mod. So if she goes and channels her fairy magic, the wings are automatically applied. So they work together in that way. And if she represses her magic, they will also disappear as well. And now I want to show you how you can apply these animated wings to Sims that are outside of your household that you don't have control over. So we are going to send her to Sylvan Glade. This is also part of the Fairies vs. Witches mod, which is available for free over on my Patreon if you're interested in that. So we have loaded into Sylvan Glade now, and you can see that the fairies have the animated wings. I've taken it upon myself to give them the animated wings. You'll have to do this manually because they will have the static wings by default. Let's say you come to Sylvan Glade and the fairies have the original static wings that have the box around them, like usual. You're going to want to enable testing cheats like before, shift-click them, go to the Fairies vs. Witches cheats. You're going to remove their wings, and that'll take off the default wings. Then you do the same thing, shift click, go to the wings menu and select wings. And you'll be able to select from the same menu as before. We're going to choose a random pair of wings. And then the wings are applied just like before. You will have to do this manually with all of the Sims that you want to have these animated wings. So something I want to mention is that every time your Sim gets reset, they will lose their wings briefly. So you can see that his wings are gone now, but very quickly after that, they will reappear just like that. So if you see that your Sim does not have their wings anymore, just give it a second, see if they show up, and if they don't, you can always click on them again, go into the wings menu, and if they don't have the ability to select their wings, if it says that they have them and they don't, you can just hit purge all wings again, and they will disappear, and then you'll be able to reselect them. But that shouldn't happen. I've tried to make sure that their wings will stay persistent as much as possible, but there is still the possibility that they will disappear. But it's just as easy as that. And then she has her wings again. So I think that's everything I wanted to show for the mod today. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward, and hopefully there are no issues that arise. As for the future of this mod, I want to make some more variations, some different styles. If you guys have any suggestions for different styles that you want, please let me know. I would love to make more of these. I also at some point want to create wings that are more like angel wings that use a different rig, a different skeleton that move differently. I attempted to do that and there were some issues, so that will be coming hopefully later. And if you're a custom content creator as well, you have my full permission to retexture these and create your own variations and styles. The wings themselves are separate packages. There's one for teens through elders, there's a separate one for children, and then a separate one for infants and toddlers. So if you'd like to create your own custom retextures, then that is totally fine with me. I would love to see what you guys create and how you use this mod. So hopefully that was informative enough and you guys are able to use this mod and these animated wings without any issues. I also want to say if you've subscribed over on my Patreon and supported me in that way, I am so appreciative. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That's very helpful for me to be able to continue making these things and working on mods. So if you guys have any suggestions for what you want to see from me, if you want to see anything else involving this mod or any of my other mods, please let me know. I really like hearing your feedback. And yeah, I think that's about it. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.